So now I'm going to talk about how geometrical forms in theoretical physics, like, they have all these issues with them. Like, for example, there used to be an action at a distance problem that people worried about, like Newton and Einstein and Nietzsche. And so Einstein invented a hidden space-time medium, a hidden geometrical space-time medium, in order to avoid the action at a distance problem. So he's basically saying there is no distance. It's the gap is filled with like this geometrical medium. The problem with that is if you fill the gap, there's going to be a smaller gap being left in our mind's eye. So you never really get rid of the gap. You're just making it appear smaller. Secondly, like the contraction or expansion of a geometrical form, like because it's indefinitely divisible, you're going to have a Zeno-like paradox for any kind of contraction or expansion. Imagine like the Big Bang, like it couldn't expand because in order to expand, it has to expand within the units, and then within those units, there's even more units. That's the problem with all these numerical forms and geometrical forms and mathematical forms, is they all have like a Zeno-like paradox. So you got to replace all this theoretical physics with a new ontology, where we're breaking down the conceptual composition of phenomena, including like the atom, you know. For example, like each of the energy levels of an atom, there's a gap, but each subsequent difference between energy levels gets smaller and smaller and smaller. Kind of like the branches of a tree get smaller and smaller and smaller, but there's more and more and more of them. So it's sort of like the atom is really a periodic tree. That would be a better term than a periodic table. There's also no such thing as male and female, by the way. I'm not saying it's like a spectrum. I'm saying that what we're calling male and female are inseparable. Meaning like I've been talking how everything's a combination of opposing concepts. Well, even like nearness, one animal being near another, one animal embracing another, one animal like penetrating another or ejaculating in another, they're co-defined. And that whole relationship is non-closure without non-closure in kind, apartness in kind, without non-closure in degree. It's a combination of opposing concepts, just in the same way that the vaginal cavity is like closure without closure, then the closeness to another person is like non-closure without non-closure. They're like opposites. Same thing with a tree. You got the non-closure of each iteration of like branches within branches, and then they get smaller and smaller and smaller, and that's the without non-closure part.